So if you didn't see it yet, we released the pilot episode for my own anime. It's crazy to even say that, of Demon Rush Episode 1 in English on my channel and Japanese on the brand new Demon Rush YouTube channel. And if you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Go see it. Now, in the Japanese dub, we got professional Japanese voice actors to come in, one of them being Daisuke Ono, the voice of JOTARO himself. To have a voice actor of that caliber voice my anime, the lines that I wrote, it was really a dream come true. I was talking to him on the voice call at like 4 a.m., obviously because they were in Japan, and I was just like freaking out. Like I couldn't even sleep all night. I was tweeting about it. It was crazy. Now at the end of our call, John asked me, he's like, hey, is there anything you want to say to Daisuke Ono? And I was like, can you ask him to give me just one good, Ora! And he walks over and he calls me Mastar-san. He's like, Mastar-san, Ora! It was like amazing, dude. I just bust out laughing, almost fell out of my chair. Now, how in the heck did I get a super S-tier Japanese voice actor to voice in my anime? Because I think that this is the first time that a YouTuber has ever really crossed this bridge. To my knowledge, I don't think any YouTuber has ever gotten like a famous voice actor from a mainstream anime to voice act in their series. I mean, not that I know of. If you do know, leave it in the comments down below, but this could be a world first, ladies and gentlemen. And before I get into this incredible story about JOTARO and the other Japanese voice actors and how we assembled the A-team to create this project, I got a sponsor. All right. Our sponsor for today is Aura Kingdom, a free-to-play MMORPG with a great story, detailed world, and competitive PvE and PvP modes. Aura Kingdom is an oldie but a goodie, remaining competitive even in 2022 with vast amounts of content in various regions and dungeons to explore. Open up a colorful world of magic right in front of your eyes. Learn a profession such as fishing, cooking, or archaeology. There's no grinding in this MMO. It has really nice quality of life improvements, like you can just click a quest and it'll immediately take you over to where the quest objective is or where to turn it in. Plus, you get a mount at level 1. You can choose one of 17 different classes to play, gather 100 different Eidolon companions, join a guild, and even decorate your house. This game is absolutely charming and it's free to play. Go to the link in the description, download it, and get started in the world of Aura Kingdom. Now, if you saw the Demon Rush anime, you saw Rush turn into this thing, which is a plushie doll. It's super soft and well made. It's gonna look great on the shelf. But the thing about this is it's a campaign. We have to sell 200 of them within the next 16 days in order for it to go into production. So if you spend the money on it through the makeshift website and the campaign doesn't hit 200, you get your money back. But the manufacturing process is really extensive, so like they don't even bother if it doesn't hit 200. So there's 16 days left in order to get your limited time Rush plushie, and then we're probably never gonna make them again. Links for that will be in the description down below, along with everything else. The cards, the manga, the new YouTube channel, the plushie, everything is in the description box down below. Okay, so funnily enough, this story actually starts with the SpongeBob anime. Yes, the fan animated one from the animator Narmak on his YouTube channel. Now, back when I watched that, I reacted to it and I couldn't believe the quality of the Japanese voice actors. They sounded incredibly professional. And I was like, wait, like, how in the heck did you get Japanese voice actors for this? So he says at the end of his video that his friend, John Wang, is a voice acting coach and helped put the team together. I went on Twitter, I talked to John, and I said, hey, like, can you get me Japanese voice actors to voice in Demon Rush? Because I wanted to have both sub and dub. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So he explained some of the process to me, and I was just thinking like we get some like amateur Japanese voice actors, like I wasn't even gonna make it a big deal or anything. But as I spent more and more time in this project, he's like, hey, do you wanna try and get some like celebrity voice actors? And I'm thinking to myself, well, like who? Like who can you get? He's like, just name a few people. So I started thinking to myself, I'm like, who would I want who are my favorite Japanese voice actors? And who would I want them to voice for? Like which characters? So I gave him a list of 3. Hiroaki Iwanaga, who is the voice of Guts from Berserk, Mamoru Miyano, who is the voice of Light from Death Note, and obviously Daisuke Ono, who is the voice of JOTARO, and Erwin Smith from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Attack on Titan. To get any of these voice actors would literally like make my life. That's like a dream come true. And it turned out Hiroaki Iwanaga, or Guts, he was busy at the moment and he couldn't do it. That was a huge sad face. I think Light was too busy as well, or maybe we didn't hear back from him. But Daisuke Ono said, all right, let's do it. I basically drafted up like a plot of what the characters are like. We sent it over to his team. His team approved it, but before we could get into the lines, we had to actually change a lot of the voice dialogue from English to Japanese because it doesn't translate perfectly. So John, the voice acting coach and owner of Voice Dub Studios, or the voice agency, helped me translate the English lines into like more coherent Japanese language. For example, instead of Adriel saying futile, in the Japanese version he says pitiful. They're just words that like kind of roll off the tongue and like kind of communicate better in the Japanese language. So it doesn't seem like you're speaking English in Japanese, if that makes any sense. So we did all this, created timetables and everything in this huge Excel sheet, did biographies of all the characters and their emotions and how they kind of talk. We ended up getting the voice of SpongeBob to voice Rush, and I think he did a fantastic job. So the voice of the SpongeBob is the voice of Rush in Demon Rush. And obviously Daisuke Ono played Adriel. Now the voice for Lucifer that we got, Naoki Bando, has done like 50 roles. He's Elder Centipede in One Punch Man. He's Gato from Naruto, if you remember like the very early episodes of Naruto with Zabuza and everything. And he's Bodoro from Hunter x Hunter. So we got some like seriously insane Japanese voice actors to come on, and we actually did their lines first. So how it works in Japan is they all come into a studio pretty much one after another. We had like an hour recording session with each, plus potential retakes the next day. And basically I sat there on a Zoom call as John voice coached them and got them to do the lines that we had written down. And it was amazing. And then they were even asking my input, like, do you like the way this sounded? Do you want more emphasis on this? And I was just geeking out, dude. Like it was like it's hard to even give any criticism because I was like, this is amazing. This is like literally my dream come true, right? And they're like the Japanese voice actors, dude, they're on a whole other level. Like they can scream for days and like they're fine. Like they just give the most, they're just quiet and they're so humble and like moderate. And then the line, like the action starts and they're just full on emotion like that. I mean, true incredible professionals, these guys. And also that's kind of another reason that like I didn't put any sound effects on their voices or deepen their voices or anything. Like I actually originally wanted to. For one, I couldn't really get the audio filters to sound like good. And because I don't speak Japanese, like I wasn't sure if those filters were muffling any of the words that they were saying. So I just like left their voices in. Plus I was not touching Ono's voice. Are you crazy? Like you think I'm gonna get Ono on here and start goofing around with the pitch of his voice and everything? Like no way. No, sir. Yeah, so I have these stems of like all of their takes and everything. Like maybe I'll release that one day. So there's all of these super clean takes of Daisuke Ono doing lines for Adriel and Demon Rush. And I basically just got to go in and pick the ones that I like the best and we roll with it. Now, how about the English voice actors? So for Adriel, I wanted Clavon Thomas. He helped me in Anime War and one of my Dragon Ball Super fan animations. The dude just has this like super powerful, deep voice and like, I love it, right? So I hit him up. I was like, hey man, I got a role for you. Are you want in? He's like, hell yes. So we got him in. And then for the voice of Rush, we actually did like a casting call on Twitter, or at least John did. And I literally sat there for like 2 days listening to the reels of like probably over 100 voice actors. We ended up going with Pat Seymour, who I think he did a really good job as well, especially with the screaming part. That was the funny thing is like with the Japanese voice actors, they're screaming for an hour, no problems. All of us American voice actors, like after 20 minutes, our throats were done. And it was like really rough. Like we're really stretching it, pushing ourselves to try and like keep going, you know, because our lines weren't done yet, but like we had done so much screaming already or just so many lines that, you know, our throats were like destroyed. And speaking of which, I did Lucifer. That was my first time ever trying to voice act, and I had help with John coaching me, and I needed a lot of help because voice acting is one of those things that like you think you can do it, like you think anybody can do it, but it's so hard, dude. It is an entire art form that you have to learn. And it's one of those things that like I think a lot of people are just kind of ignorant about, like the difficulty and the skill and the training it takes to be a really good voice actor. Part of the reason I did it is because like I kind of wanted to, right? Like it's, you know, my anime, I felt like it'd be kind of cool to be in it. And also we were just running really short on time. And the thing about Demon Rush is I could have worked on this thing forever, but perfection is the destroyer of excellence. This is something that I've learned on YouTube. Is like sometimes you just have to release something, especially when it comes down to an animation. I mean, you could work on it literally forever if you wanted to, but everybody I know that's a perfectionist never releases anything. And as the Afro Samurai producer Eric Calderon told me, most of the time we're releasing stuff at 70% satisfaction. So we kind of got to like a crunch time point. I was like, I got to release this thing. Like it's been sitting on the shelf for so long. We're pumping in so much time and money into this thing. So I'm just going to voice it. And John's like, okay, let me help you. So we did a recording session. I had like literally 2 lines and a laugh. And it took like 25 minutes of recording. Here's some of that.
Rush. After destroying Zadkiel, your Imperium limit raised immensely. I can grant you more power than ever before. Release my mark, take it, and defeat Adriel.
So I deepened my voice a little bit and put like a little bit of echo on it. But to be honest, I think moving forward, like especially like if and when we get a studio to like do a full 12 episodes of Demon Rush, I'll just get some other voice actor to like replace me. We'll just like redo the whole episode 1 and just swap me out. I can actually do a ton of voices too. Like I used to do stand-up comedy and my whole thing was doing different voices, but even so, it's hard, man. I mean, my throat was destroyed. Like I can't even stream for more than 2 hours because my throat is just done. So I give like tons of credit to voice actors who are really solid and been in the industry for a long time, because it's just one of those skills that doesn't really get enough recognition, I don't think. And then that was it. We got our lineup. We got all of our voices stems in. I did the final like chop up of which, screams and lines are going in there, which takes, and we finished the editing, and then we released the English version on my main channel and then the Japanese version on the new Demon Rush channel. And I couldn't be happier. So it seems like Ono's gonna be back, as long as we have more like lines for him and stuff like that, which is absolutely awesome. And this also is really cool because he's like such a big celebrity over there in Japan, and as a voice actor, like that will give the series Demon Rush way more clout moving forward, especially when we want to get more voice actors. Oh, one more really awesome piece of information. So similarly with Ono, John asked me, do you want any famous American voice actors for the English version? And I was like, I don't really know. Like, well, who do you have ideas for? He recommended to me Michael Dorn. Worf. Dude, I grew up with Star Trek. When he suggested Michael Dorn to me, and I was like, dude, we're gonna get Worf? Unfortunately, I don't think he responded or he didn't hit us back, but yeah, that's basically how the whole thing works. Is John represents a voice talent agency, and he just reaches out to the management teams of various voice actors, and he's like, hey, we have a role, here's a description, we'd love to have you, and if they respond, they respond, if they don't, they don't. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to have any voice acting lessons, go through John Wang. His link is in the description for his Twitter. I highly suggest that if you're really serious about it, like you get some lessons from John. He's super good. He got Ono for me. So, I mean, that's just amazing. So like the sky is really the limit, guys. I mean, who knows who else I could get. Maybe by the time that Demon Rush is ready to come out and we need a voice for Soren. Bro, if I can get the voice of Guts for Soren, are you kidding me, dude? Maybe he won't be busy anymore. It's a possibility. Like, it's not out of the picture. That's it for the video today, guys. Don't forget to pick up your Rush plushie. Remember, we need to sell 200 of these in order for them to get printed. If we don't sell 200 and you already paid money, you will get a full refund. And that link is in the description down below. I'm Mastar. Hope you guys enjoyed Demon Rush. We're still selling cards and everything. These things are going really, really fast, but we still do have some left. And I'm planning on holding a big tournament next month. So get your cards now before they're gone. All right, guys, I'm Mastar, and I'll see you in the next video.